Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Murder Church on a Tuesday night. What's going on? I am still officially on vacation. And let me turn this tune down just a little bit here. Happy Murder Church on a Tuesday. Getting ready to come at you right now. Episode 19 of the Phil Spector Hollywood murder trial. Get settled in. And hit the old like ski. Share this out and let people know that you're hanging out here tonight with Publicly Buzzed. Go to X, go to Twitter, share that out as well. I would really appreciate that. Yeah, let's rock and roll.
Let's rock.
Yo, what's up, guys? Murder Church is on the air. Thank you very much for coming in here tonight. I really appreciate it. Like I said, if you could go and give the video the old like ski, I'd really appreciate it, or a share. We're going to be coming in tonight hot with episode 19 of the Phil Spector Hollywood murder trial. We could be getting a little bit of the old Alan Jackson. Who knows? Probably, actually, I'd imagine. We're going to be starting off tonight with Alhambra fireman Michael Brown, who has taken the stand. And we got 32 minutes with this gentleman. Also tonight, still active is The Will. We have a little bit of, let me just look through here real quick to see exactly what is going on with The Will. I had some more shirts ordered today. Let me see exactly where we're at on that side of things so I can hype those up as well. Madeline, your first Dandy Savage shirt is on the way. Jersey Jen, and she actually, I let her pick the Kool-Aid cup. She actually got the coffee mug. That is on the way. And then Kathy, you have a Buzzed Mysteries large on the way. So I continue to go through these as people win them. And yeah, the wheel is still active. Let me see exactly where we're at until we get a new spin. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're 7 names away from the next spin. So, yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on that as well. Everything is active, whether that's Venmo, PayPal, coffees, all that, gifting memberships, buying supers. That's how you get on the wheel, folks. So just so you know how that works. But, yeah, we're going to be rocking and rolling here tonight. Let's go ahead and jump in it. Let me see who's in the chat here real quick, actually. I am on vacation this week, so I'm in extra chill mode, so I'm super happy about that. But let me see who's hanging and banging here tonight. Bassett Page, what's up? Just got my shirt today. Hell yeah, that's what I like to hear. Dizzy's hanging out. Kraken Kraken Studio. About said it's Kraken in the studio. Either way would have worked. The Real Booty hanging and banging. Catgirl, what's going on? Lakota, what's going on? Appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all for coming in. RX Girl in the house. Bonnie Bailey in the house. Thank y'all very much. Yeah, let's rock and roll. Lakota, I have my Dandy Savage t-shirt and wearing it to SmackDown Friday. Whoa, that's a cool mashup, actually. That's really cool. Yeah, hopefully you'll have fun. I've been to a few SmackDowns in my life. I've been to a handful, actually, probably like 10. That's really cool, Lakota. I love to hear that. Love to hear it. Well, let's go ahead and wait. You know, we're not going to waste any time here tonight. We'll go ahead and rock and roll and jump inside, and yeah, we'll get rolling. Be here for a few hours anyways. Make sure the sound is ready. Oh, well, let me do one thing real quick. Besides the bells, let me go ahead and do the bells real quick. I have some cool stuff to announce. Friday night, I'm going to go ahead and give off the beginning of the movie marathon. What is going to be happening on the movie marathon to begin anyways. And we're not going to be doing a YouTube Feral Friday beginning this time. This one's going to be slightly different. This one is going to be exclusively all night long on Kicks to be ready from 9 p.m. on. The very first movie is going to be Goodfellas, and we're going to have a very special guest by the name of Chris Dewitt hanging out with us. So me, Dan, and Chris is going to start that night off. We also have Missy Mayhem coming through as a special guest, and I'm super excited about that night. I'm trying to push it through all the way to 6 to 7 a.m. It's going to be a long haul, so hopefully everyone can, again, what are they going to be doing all night long?
Hanging and banging.
All night long, baby. Is that still working?
Hanging and banging.
Oh, yeah, baby. Hanging and banging. We don't play around here. We don't play around. I don't know if anybody realizes that yet, but we do knots. Oh, shit. Catgrow said, let me get on the son of a bitch. And luckily, Phil, Tayo Toys, one of the homies, one of the real G's that comes through here on a regular basis that helps out the entire true crime community and fucking rules. Putting you on there right now, Catgrow. Thank you so much for gifting out that membership. And Phil, dude, you've got a really dank video on your hands. And I'm going to show that off actually before we even get started. I dropped this today. So I've been hyping this up. It dropped yesterday for Patreon members today, and tomorrow it will go live. But right now, exclusively, Phil, you have access to a really cool fucking video. Peep this shit. And this is for any member that hasn't come through yet. You see that right there? Tea time. West Virginia boys enjoy UK treats with Charlotte. It's fucking dope. She teaches us straight from the UK. We have her on the line how to make a cup of tea. We eat a bunch of snacks that she sent us exclusively internationally from the UK. So yes, boom. Any new members in Catgrow, let me get you on there. And if you do want to be a member in the pinned, I've got the pinned comment there. You can click that. That'll take you to becoming a member if you're not, and you're just maybe lurking back there. Let me put you on here though. Gifted Catgrow. So now we're six names away from a spin tonight. We'll see if we can capture that son of a bitch. And we'll keep rolling, baby. Oh, I was about to say, did I name everybody that's got the new shirts rolling? And I think I did. Why isn't Botrix working? Hold on. Let me go over here and do one more thing. Just real quick. And sometimes, if you refresh Botrix, kind of log in, log back out, go back to the chat feature, it will fix itself. So we're going to try that. Get a brewski, get a probably nothing, and get ready for the Phil Spector Hollywood murder trial. As again, we continue down this insane freaking path. And yeah, anytime we get new members, Grogs, Navy Grogs. Oh, let me get that actually in here. Hold on. Let me get those in here so I can show them off. I see the chat already knows what to do. Hold on. Let me get them in here. Get this link. Bada bing, bada boom, boom, boom. Because I didn't even show this one off. Boom! Catgrow coming through here. And then I got to hit you with this right here also, Phil. Shit, I'm off tonight, bud.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And that's right. You get those Navy Grogs. There's those drinks into the chat there. All right, let's rock and roll, guys. Appreciate everybody for hanging out. Oh shit! One thing I said I was going to do and I didn't. The sound here, and then I've already got the name there. Fireman Michael Brand.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Fireman.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for coming. I'd like to invite your attention to February 3rd, 2003. Were you employed at the time?
Yes, sir. City of Alhambra Fire Department.
How long as of that date had you been a Alhambra fireman?
1 year.
Did you have some other specific training for the Alhambra Fire Department? In other words, did you have another kind of title?
No, sir. My title was firefighter paramedic.
That's what I was looking for.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So not only were you a fireman, but you were also a trained paramedic.
Yes, sir.
Tell us very briefly about your fire department training, and then I'll have another question about your paramedic training.
Prior to being hired, I went to Rio Hondo Fire Academy. I went to Mount San Antonio College Paramedic School. Paramedic school consisted of a classroom session, hospital session, and an internship with LA City Fire Department.
Let's talk about that a little bit, but first let me ask you, at the Alhambra Fire Department, I take it that the paramedics are also firemen.
Yes, sir.
So you're kind of dual duty.
Yes, sir.
And go in and fight a fire or help somebody in a traffic accident.
Yes, sir. We rotate onto a fire engine also and through the paramedic ambulance.
That's not true at all departments, is it?
Not at all departments, sir.
For example, you said in your earlier answer that in your paramedic training, you interned at the Los Angeles City Fire Department.
Yes, sir.
And there they have a separate paramedic corps, for want of a better term.
Yes, sir. I believe they still do. At the time I got hired by Alhambra Fire Department, they did, sir.
So their paramedics are not firemen.
I cannot speak for LA City Fire Department, but as of my knowledge, not all of them are firefighter paramedics. At the time this all occurred, there had some single function paramedics.
How long altogether was your paramedic training?
37 units of paramedic training with previous emergency medical technician experience, and 37 units took about 7 months, sir.
So those are like the equivalent of college units?
Yes, sir.
Now I'd like again to invite your attention to February 3rd, 2003. Were you on duty that day?
Jury duty on?
No. Were you on duty? No, you don't want to be. Let me start again. On February 3rd, 2003, were you working that day?
Yes, sir, I was.
At the Alhambra Fire Department?
Yes, sir. Station 71. I was assigned to, at the time we called it Medic 71, which is now RA 71.
It was a rescue ambulance.
Yes, sir.
And sometime after 6 a.m. in the morning, did you get a call? Did you get a request to go somewhere?
Yes, sir. I believe approximate dispatch time was 6:17 a.m. We were dispatched to Alhambra Police Department Jail, which is 2 streets south of the fire department, or the station that I'm stationed at.
Pretty close by.
Yes, sir.
So it didn't take you long to get there?
No, sir.
What was the call?
We were dispatched originally for patient tased, for ALS, which we call Advanced Life Support, evaluation of patient, requested by Alhambra Police Department.
So the police department asked you, the fire department, a fire department paramedic, to come to the police station to see someone who'd been tased.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean, tased?
I'm by no means have the true knowledge of a police officer about being tased. Just pretty much like what the public knows. A tase kind of a gun-like system where it shoots 2 barbells attached with strings. I believe it's electricity. The barbells are supposed to get intact with the skin, and it takes a combative patient and puts them into like a state where police control the situation.
Okay. And so that's why you were called to the Alhambra Police Department that morning?
Yes, sir, for evaluation.
And after you arrived at the Alhambra Police Department, did you meet the defendant, Phil Spector?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We have, I'm going to ask Sudie here to put up People's 38 for identification. There it is.
Thanks for coming in here.
Would you look at that exhibit, please? It's 2 photographs, A and B. Do you recognize that person?
Yes, sir.
Is that the
Thank you
person
so
that
much,
you
Ken.
saw when you got to the Alhambra Police Department that morning?
Yes, sir.
Do you see him here in court today?
Yes, sir.
Could you point him out and tell the judge what he's now wearing?
He's wearing a gray jacket with a blue shirt, sir.
Indicating Mr. Spector for the record.
Thank you, Your Honor. So you went over to the police department to see if he was okay? Is that basically it?
Yes, it's very common that we go down to the jail for evaluation of certain patients, certain medical conditions, trauma conditions, and so forth.
Did you have a partner that morning?
Yes, sir. My partner that morning was firefighter paramedic Jaime Olmos.
So you both went over there and met the defendant, Phil Spector.
Yes, sir.
Where did you first see him? Where inside the police department?
If I can refer to the picture, when you come in through there's 2 doors. There's a silver bench next to a desk.
Okay, may I approach? I have a laser pointer here, and the judge is going to let me walk up here and give it to you, and maybe you can point. You point. I'll shoot it at the ground here. You point to the this button at the top, and you make it work. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So go ahead. Explain your last answer, please.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
All right. Well, I'd ask you, where did you first see him in the police department? I think you were going to answer referring to People's 38, either A or B.
It would be B, but I believe it'd be right there. It's not in the picture.
Oh, okay.
I'm I'm sorry, it's a silver seat that the jail has right in when you walk in the 2 security doors.
All right, so if we looked
they
at
taste the
photograph B in People's 38, as we look at it, you first saw him just to the left of that picture as we look at it. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. He was sitting on the bench.
All right. He was on a bench?
It's a silver bench seat.
Was he handcuffed or not, or do you recall?
I believe I don't recall completely, so I'm not going to answer that.
Was there a police officer nearby?
Everybody coming through, appreciate it.
There's always I don't recall the exact fact, but there's always people in that general area, sir.
So once you met the defendant, Phil Spector, inside the Alhambra Police Department in the jail, what happened next? What did you do? What did your partner do?
I was what we call radio man at the time. I'm the documentation. I do hospital contact. I assist the patient man in any operations that he or she needs. My partner, Jaime Olmos, evaluated the patient for the taser marks and any other medical/trauma complaints that the patient might have had. I documented everything that my partner told me, and that's where we're at.
All right, let me ask you a question or two about that. Did your partner do all of this within your view, within your earshot?
Absolutely, within 2 feet, sir.
That's part of the deal with having a partner.
Yes, sir. We always work together.
So tell us what your partner did. He got called because the defendant may have been tasered. What did he do to try to determine whether or not he needed medical assistance, whether the defendant needed help?
It starts with a primary assessment, which includes just talking to the patient, seeing where their mental status is, make sure they're what we call ABCs, airway, breathing, and circulation, which are basic human functions that I assume we're all doing in here right now. And then we ask the patient exactly what we're called out for, and then we go from there with a secondary assessment, which we call head to toe, or...
Can you hear me when I pause it? I mean, I don't have it like super loud, but hold on. Yo, does that sound all right when I pause it? I need to lower change it just a slight bit here. Hello, folks.
Since we were inspecting taser marks,
Ladies and gentlemen.
he inspected the taser marks,
Ladies
he
and
inspected the
gentlemen.
body. He asked the patient.
Start your engines.
And we did a head to
How about
toe
now? Is that better?
Visualized everything, and patient denied any other problems. And
Did he
I
say
had a little
that-
bit
did
too low there.
The patient, the defendant,
Sorry
Phil
about that.
Spector, say he had
The hell? That happens.
any medical complaints?
no, sir.
Did he complain about any injuries that he sustained as a result of this?
No, sir. He was not talking very much to us, sir.
Did he appear to be, I mean, you're a guy with experience, you're a paramedic, did he appear to be in some kind of physical pain?
No, sir.
Now, you mentioned earlier in telling us what you knew about tasers that these 2 wires with little hooks come out. Did you see whether or not those hooks had in any way touched the defendant's skin?
Yes, sir. As Jaime Olmos, my partner of the day, was inspecting him, I saw him pull the shirt out, and I saw the barbells on the tasers hooked into his shirt.
Was there any marks on his skin as a result of what appeared to you to be the
Kelly,
taser?
No, sir.
what's up? Coming through here. Welcome in here,
You
Simi
told us
Shar.
earlier that we're all doing
Appreciate
it,
it,
I
guys.
guess, living and breathing. He appeared to be okay.
Yes, sir, at that time.
Did you take, as a paramedic, or did your partner take, as a paramedic, any medical action or make any medical recommendations to help the defendant at that time?
Well, like I said, we went through our primary and secondary assessment. We ruled out everything. We asked the patient if he wanted to go to the hospital for any specific reason. The patient denied, and we left him in custody of APD at that time.
So when you say he denied, you ask him, do you want to go to the hospital? Do you have any problems that need hospital help? And he said no.
Yes, sir. And the part I left out, we asked him, as we do with every patient, history, allergies, meds, which is just basic patient medical history, allergies to any medications, and any medications he currently takes.
Okay. Does the term 1019 mean anything to you in Alhambra Fire Department terminology? 1019?
I do not recall, sir.
Okay. Could I have a moment? Thanks, nothing further.
Thank you. Cross-examination.
son of a bitch. Oh God, Baden. I do enjoy Baden.
Thank you. Officer Brown?
Yes, sir. Or firefighter paramedic.
It's that kind of day, I know. Hi, I'm Linda Kenny Bodden, and I'm one of the attorneys representing Mr. Spector.
Well,
And again,
obviously.
nice meeting you, and we haven't talked before, have we?
No, we have not.
Okay, so we're about to. Okay. All right. Now, why does everyone laugh at me when I get up here, Judge? I don't know. Okay. Now, you were called at 6 in
weirdest
the
shit ever.
morning, a little after 6 in the morning, correct?
Correct. I believe the approximate dispatch time was around 6:17.
Okay, and in terms of the paperwork, you have to fill out forms. One is called an EMS report, correct?
The way he stares at
And
people,
then
I
the
can't.
other is called an out-of-hospital care report.
Calm her down, bud.
I'm not familiar with that form, or
Okay.
I might be. The term.
Right, we'll get to that. Let's take it one step at a time. So you were, dispatch was notified about 6:17:55 or about 6:18 in the morning to go to the Alhambra jail, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and it took you about 2 minutes to get there, or 5 minutes to get there? You arrived about 6:22?
I believe so.
Okay. Do you have your EMS reports with you?
I do. Or I have a copy, but it's pretty much ineligible because it was a fax copy. And you can, in certain areas of EMS form, if you have looked at it, are gray.
I have.
Once it gets faxed, it's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
much
a little
ineligible or
difficult.
unreadable.
Okay, I may have a clean copy here in case. Do you have one? If Mr. Dixon has one, that'd be great. And you actually arrived to see Mr. Spector at 6:23. Can I give this to him, Your Honor? Just make it quicker. Thank you, Mr. Dixon. You arrived
Gary,
to see Mr. Spector at
get it here.
6:23, correct?
Correct.
Happy
And,
Tuesday.
You cleared him
Very
at
Hannibal Lecter-y.
6:30.37, is that what my understanding is?
Correct.
And clearing means what, that you finished examining him?
Correct.
Okay, so you spent a little over about 7.5 minutes with him, is that fair?
Correct. Fair enough.
Okay, and then you
Patrick finally woke up.
left and went back in service, right?
Correct.
So the total response time of this call from 6:17 to 6:30 was about 12 minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and out of that 12 minutes, you spent about 7 minutes with Mr. Spector, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you said that you pulled down, your partner, and you could see everything that was going on, pulled down his shirt, correct?
But not pulled down. He kind of pulled away slowly just to make sure that the barbs weren't connected to the skin.
In other words, correct me if I'm wrong, you didn't visualize or look at what may have been on his chest or stomach area, did you?
I was looking over my partner's shoulder.
Okay, did you see what may have been on Mr. Spector's chest or stomach area?
I was looking over my partner's shoulder, and I saw him pull it out. The barbs were not attached. Came over with the shirt, and he was wearing like a black sweater, and I peeked through the top of his sweater.
Okay, so in other words, I don't want to do this too far out, but you kind of peeked down,
Yes,
you pulled this out and you peeked down?
Yes.
Okay, so you really didn't see what's down here?
No, I did not.
Okay, all right. So when you say that you looked at him from head to toe, is it fair to say that you really didn't look at his area of his chest around here?
My partner did the assessment, and I documented it.
Right, okay, so you're just telling us what happened, what it is. So you really didn't see down here?
I personally did not.
Okay, and you didn't have him take off his shirt at all to see what was on his arms or anything, right?
No.
And you didn't have him take off his shirt or pick up his shirt out of his pants to see what was in his bag, right?
No, we took it for the questions that we were asking him. He had no medical or trauma complaint.
Okay.
This is defense.
By the way, he was able to answer those questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, at one point you said to me he wasn't talking, or you said to Mr. Dixon, he wasn't talking to us very much.
I was vague. What I should have said is every question we asked him, he was talking. We go on a variety of patients. Some patients don't talk a whole lot. Some patients talk a lot more than others.
And this one didn't.
Human nature.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm sorry,
you.
it's just...
No, that's okay. This one just wasn't talking very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And by the way, did you look for any friction abrasions on his stomach?
I personally did not.
Okay. And when you're called to the jail, by the way, you're a paramedic, not an EMT, right?
A paramedic is a form of EMT.
Oh, be safe, Lakota.
Why don't you explain to the jury what an EMT is?
Well, I think he was about to anyway, so go ahead and finish your answer. What your understanding is the difference between, if any, between an EMT and a paramedic.
Okay. I mean, it's pretty basic. EMT stands for Emergency Medical Technician, which is a basic form. It's as I mentioned, ALS prior, or Advanced Life Support.
Right.
A regular EMT is trained to EMT Basic Life Support, BLS. That's when I went to paramedic school, took the National Registry test and so forth, and then became what we call an EMT-P or EMT paramedic.
Okay, so you can do more things as a paramedic that you can't as an emergency medical technician?
Yes, we refer to it as our scope of practice.
Okay, and there's different standards federally for EMTs and paramedics, correct?
Oh, yes. There's county, there's federal, there's national, and so forth.
Okay, so you're in the advanced life support or paramedic, correct?
In Los Angeles County.
In Los
City
Angeles
kitty,
County.
popping through.
One of the things you
What's up,
said
dude?
that you request to evaluate the patient. Do you see that on your second page of your EMT report? And can we put that up
Yo,
there?
Tara and Dusty coming through with the share on the on Twitter, and Phil Ross and Stevie Irwin. Appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate
That
that.
would be 297,
Let's go.
297 Discovery. By the way, when I was referring, I just apologize.
Chill night in the
out of
church.
Hospital case report. I just
PJ
got it
Wolf
from up
coming
there.
through.
So my question before we begin, do you recognize this form?
Yes. To clarify what we call it in general practice around the fire station is our firehouse report. It's a computer-based program.
Okay. And that computer-based program takes what you input on the handwritten form and puts it, you type it into the computer?
Yes, I take the EMS form, I take the information off of that, I put it into the computer, and from where it goes to certain people after that, I cannot tell you exactly who.
Okay. Now, prior to that, you have a handwritten form also, correct?
Correct, that was the EMS report.
And could we put on 296, Bates number 296? That's the first one that you have? Okay. And there's a real hard area to read what you're on the second one, Jennifer. The second
What are we
one? No,
zooming in on?
second-
What are we looking at? His fucking belt? He's not even wearing a belt on his suspenders. His tummy? What are we doing,
There
cameraman?
we go.
Pull out, bro.
We'll blow it up
Jesus.
as best as we can.
Simmer down.
Hold
Kelly
on.
Hill in the house.
Raise
Willgate Kelly Hill in the house. What's up, Kelly? What are you doing?
pointer here. Oh, my gosh. Okay, thank you. It's now turned yellow.
Dude, you don't stop
See
shaking.
what damage I can do here. Okay. See this word here?
Hey, can I ask you why you're standing, are you referring to this right here?
Yes, that's what I'm referring
Okay.
to. Do you see that word?
Yes, I do.
What is that?
It's, as I mentioned before.
Well, yes. Oh, man. Classic, dude. The Techno Viking. I've actually not thought about the Techno Viking in a long time. But yes, I did. I like the Techno Viking.
Diabetes.
The Techno Viking, like, sued whoever put that video out, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if he won that shit or not, but... Sweet Lou coming through. Yo, that rhymed. What's up, Sweet Lou? Coming through. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Okay, and you
Kelly Hill!
on the report for Phil Spector.
We're fighting.
Correct.
And where did you get that information from?
My partner asked him what we call ham.
Appreciate it, guys.
is,
Thanks, everybody, for hanging out.
history, allergies, and meds. We do it for every patient that we go on.
Okay, and you also then went on to evaluate
That was
him,
awesome,
and,
though.
and you said
Like,
that it was no
I sat back
TX that would
down,
be on the-
and then all of a sudden, I was like, "Oh no! Why is there controversy? There should not be controversy." Just for anybody that's popped through a little bit late, we are 6 names away from another spin. The will is in play here tonight, and I got a bunch more shirts and merchandise ordered today for some more folks. So we're still rolling on through, baby. So it's still happening.
the next page.
Bonnie Bailey, if you're still hanging out in chat, did that land in Canada yet? I still haven't made it to the post office to actually check on what the hell's going on. But did that land? Have you gotten that?
Bottom.
I hope so.
Next one, down bottom. On your form, I think you have it, sir, Mr. Brown.
Yes, ma'am.
No TX, what does that mean?
No treatment.
And CNA, what does that mean?
Contact not attempted. We work under protocols. We have our base station, which is our Arcadia Methodist Hospital. There's certain criteria that we have to call in.
Okay.
No medical/trauma complaint. We do not have to call in.
Frogs. I see a sweet
when
Lou.
you got to see Mr. Spector and he was in the Alhambra police station, do you remember whether he was handcuffed or not?
What?
I can't
That is
recall.
worrying
You
me.
don't
I have to
remember. Okay, that's
admit.
fair. And
Like, I've got a
when
tracking
you
number,
were
but the tracking number I had for the Australia one never actually started working. So I don't have much confidence in that. I'm going to have to check tomorrow. And I have something I have to pick up, so I'm going to
called
check.
in, you thought it was because
I
you
don't
were
like
called
that.
in to attend a patient who may or may not have been tasered, correct?
Correct.
And what is it that you're looking for when a patient
Oh,
is
she said,
tasered?
you know what? I might not have won the last one, but I'm going to win this one. Kelly Hill coming through with the 199 Super Banana. Let's go.
I don't believe you.
Woo. I hit the wrong one. I don't believe you. Kelly Hill, thank you very much. Let's go. I think we're 5 away. 5 away. From another Spinsky.
I'm not, like I
Make
said,
sure
I'm
nobody's
not
sent
super
nothing through the
familiar
apps.
with
The
them.
Venmo,
The
PayPal,
time
all
I've
that
seen
is
them,
open
the
per
barbells-
usual.
And the barbells get stuck into the skin, kind of like a
Not
fishing hook.
tonight.
And then there's two, kind of like, it looks like fishing line that's still kind of connected to it. And see if they're still in contact of the skin, patients in any
Might
distress.
win that son of a bitch.
If they're complaining of pain, burning, irritation to the areas.
But sometimes they cannot be in contact with the skin when you see them, isn't that correct?
The time I saw them in this, it was in the shirt, it was not in the skin.
Okay. And on other patients that you've seen that have been tasered, sometimes they're in the clothing, sometimes they're on the skin, sometimes they're falling off, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
But to clarify, it doesn't mean they're tased every time.
Right.
I see the action was attempted.
Okay. And when you're called as someone who is trained in advanced life support, is your understanding you're called to see whether this person's in extreme agitation?
It can be mild agitation, any agitation to any level.
When you look for someone who may have been tasered, whether they have bizarre behavior,
Correct.
whether they're impervious to pain,
Correct.
whether they have an exhaustive exertion,
Correct.
whether they have hallucinations,
Correct.
whether they're sweating profusely,
Yes, ma'am.
whether they have inappropriate nudity.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're looking for that, and you're called in to make sure that there's no sudden in-custody death. Is that correct?
Can you clarify that, sudden in custody death?
Make sure someone doesn't die while they're in the police station from the
Correct.
taser.
Or even if they're complaining of a sneeze or a cough, what we get called out for is what one person's emergency is totally somebody else's non-emergency or vice versa.
Okay. Did you know why Mr. Spector was in the police station?
Jackson, that calls for speculation.
First of all, what's the relevance?
Into what questions he was asking him about, and why Mr. Spector.
I'll allow it to show the basis of whatever follow-up he may have done. All right, over.
Anybody that might have popped through that did not hear me, I'm getting that song up there now, Patricia. I'll take a listen to that after the show tonight. That did not hear what is happening Friday night. You've probably already heard wind of this through the Buzz Nation, but Friday night, 9 p.m. starting exclusively on Kick. We're not doing a YouTube start time for Feral Friday this week. It's going to be exclusively on Kick. Starting the movie party, starting the movie marathon. We're going to be going to deep into the morning. I'm trying to hit 6 or 7 in the morning. We're going to see how that works out. But the very first film that we're going to be playing is going to be, I don't know if anybody watched Feral Friday last Friday night, but what genre won, what film genre picked up the most votes was thriller. So we're going to have thrillers on deck, and that can have a lot of sub-genres attached to it. The very first one is going to be crime, and it's going to be Goodfellas. And we're going to have Chris Dewitt hanging out with us. We also have multiple other films that we're going to be watching, and we're going to have Missy Mayhem coming through, and maybe some other guests if I can lock any down. But so far we have 2 exclusive guests coming through, and Chris Dewitt is going to be opening up the show with us, and I'm pumped up about it, baby. Ready to go. We don't mess around these parts over here. I don't know if y'all heard about it or not. Kelly Bowbelly said, what's up? Fuck everybody. $1.99. Get me on the wheel, she said. I'm going to put you on there right now. Let me do it right quick. Kelly with the $1.99. Thank you very much. Boom. Appreciate that. And then I believe right behind that, we're going to get a little bit crazier. Sweet Lou came through with the $2. Philip, you're shaking the bench, darling. Yeah, this dude needs to chill. He does not stop shaking. Lord, what is going on? Sweet Lou getting on that son of a bitch. Sweet Lou, let me get you on there. Appreciate that. My sweet darling. All right, how many more we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Woo! We're 3 names away, baby, from a spin here tonight. Thank y'all so much. We're not fucking around. Boom. Not fucking around. Keep on
So
rolling.
I can proceed or
Yes.
answer?
Yes, sir.
I had absolutely no idea.
Okay.
Just for information, I had just walked in the station. What we call jump to call. I had no prior knowledge of anything going on.
Okay.
Oh, and I'll have to open the show with
no
Thriller,
prior
the
knowledge,
song.
You wouldn't know maybe any specific
Jeff, open Thrill
questions to
Friday with
ask
that
him
song
about
before,
what
will you?
happened, only whether you were looking to see whether he had the effects of a taser.
I'm shaking, dude.
Correct.
You don't
but
stop.
We do that on every call. We treat every patient the same. Without knowing prior knowledge of pretty much anybody in the city, we treat everybody the same to the highest regard.
Okay. And did you recommend or did you learn from your review of Mr. Spector and your treatment of him, when you left there, did you understand whether or not he was on any medications?
No, because if you look at my AMS report,
Right.
the medication area, he denied taking any medications on a consistent daily basis.
Okay. Did you specifically ask him for specific medications, or you just asked him any medications?
I'm familiar with some diabetic medications. I'm not familiar with all of them. There's thousands upon thousands of medications. I couldn't.
Take a breather. You're all
Are
right.
you finished? I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah, I'm finished. I'm sorry.
So, in other words, you didn't know any of the
He's very
specifics to
nervous.
follow up on any specifics with him?
The confidence of these people
Did
is
our
what's so interesting.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I know that defense attorney is.
Fireman Brown, you were there to give him any medical treatment that you thought was necessary, is that correct?
Correct.
Either real serious or maybe not so serious.
It could have been a sneezer, cough. I mean, we would have taken him to the hospital if the patient wanted to.
If there had been injuries to the defendant's chest as the result of the taser, would have you treated those?
We would have treated him, and as we do in the city of Alhambra, we have ambulance transports. We recommend that at paramedic level, we're not doctors. We can only do our scope of practice, and we always recommend that they go to the hospital.
And you would have arranged for an ambulance to go to the hospital?
I was on the ambulance. We transport our own citizens and whoever else.
But yet, as a result of your assessment and that of your partner that morning at the Alhambra Police Department for the defendant, he had no medical complaints, and therefore you gave no medical treatment?
Correct.
Thank you. That's it.
Thank you. Recross.
Sir, one other thing on the follow-up, you did give him what's called a Glasgow coma score.
Yes.
What is
GCS.
that?
It's where we evaluate a person's mental status. We commonly refer to it as 465 for a total of 15, which is a normal acting person.
And could you put up 296 again, please? And on that little box up there, GCS to your right, Jennifer. Down, keep going down, keep going down. No, there we go. That's what we're talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, in that Glasgow coma score, it says ETOH. What is that?
It's for if somebody was drinking alcohol.
And I noticed you left that blank, right?
Yes, ma'am.
ETOH drugs.
To myself and my
suspects.
partner, there was, at least I can speak for myself, there was nothing, I mean, it was obvious to me, or I suspected there was no need to check that box because of what my assessment was when I was standing there.
Which was what?
That I didn't find any obvious signs of alcohol.
Thank you.
Thank you. Redirect.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Subject to recall your excuse. Thank you for being here. You may step down.
Thank you.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I have no clue what they're
I'm
getting
sure that
into.
you are aware that one of your fellow jurors is receiving an award at work tomorrow, so we're not going to be in session in the morning. We are going to be doing something else outside your
Congratulations.
presence. We will resume with
Lord.
you at 1:30. Whoever's getting the award, congratulations. And keep in mind the admonition. We'll see you at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon.
It's like they're going through. I mean,
All right,
that's
the-
just how trials are. I
The
guess.
record will reflect the jurors and the alternates have left. You have a witness you wish ordered back?
Yes, we have two
Slow
witnesses.
moving.
The right here, I think it's Nurse Caruso, and we have...
Judge Dowhard don't fuck around though. I like him.
All right, each of you is ordered back for 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, tomorrow morning at 9:30, we will resume and hopefully conclude the inquiry that's being made into the potential missing evidence that we have been doing over
Hold on,
several
I'm so used to
sessions.
calling him
I'm
Judge
hopeful
Dowhard, I
that we
forget his
can
real name. Hold on.
Wrap it up tomorrow. Are you calling some witnesses? I'm looking at the defense. Who are you calling tomorrow?
Kaplan's going to be Ms. Kaplan will be recalled.
Okay.
We would like to also ask the court to direct the district attorney. We've made informal requests of them to get copies of their pleadings that they filed with the court, which for some reason we can't get them to give us a
Larry
copy of.
Fiddler. Larry Fiddler. Judge Dowhard.
I think they're talking about, there's no pleadings filed.
Ex parte application.
There was a request to appoint a special master. I'm trying to remember whether it was 1 or 2 pages, but I don't have it. I don't keep it.
We've asked them.
Do you have it?
Court,
He
we'd
just
to
looks
get
like
a copy
Bruce
of it.
Willis.
I've asked them in writing.
I'll give you some bills, buddy.
I'm not being flippant. Why would the court not have it?
Because I believe I signed it and gave
You're
it
Alan
to
Jackson.
you. Gave it back to you. Now, that's my recollection because
Okay.
I wouldn't do anything with it.
Okay, I'll look in my, one of us must have it, so if
Okay.
not, then I've got it, I'm sure I can come up with a copy on my computer.
And as far as any other application, I'm not sure if there was anything in writing. I believe it was just
No, this is Bruce Willis's
notified
twin
there was gonna be a
brother.
request for a special master. It was
Separated at
presented to
birth.
me. I
Prove
don't
me
know
wrong.
If we had a reporter present, did we? If we have a reporter present, we're going to need a transcript, but we would have already, I would have thought we would have had one and would have had it sealed, perhaps.
Yeah, one day in chambers, Mr. Jackson showed me his declaration, like one portion of it.
That's what it was. I believe that's all that it was. It was presented to me.
Bills are
The facts
coming
contained within it.
out.
I signed it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Form copy. I'm just asking
Church
for a copy
bells
of
are
that document.
If it's
coming.
available, we'll get it for you. Okay?
Per 9778,
Yes, Mr. Spector doesn't have to.
1:30 tomorrow.
He doesn't have to be here in the morning. If he doesn't want 1:30 is fine. All right? You're welcome.
You're Alan
Is
Dowhard.
if
I
in
like
fact,
that.
and I believe Mr. Rosen, this deals with you, if in fact
Look
there
at how
are
long his
statements-
jacket is. His jacket comes out of the back of his
Ms. Kaplan may
knees.
have been interviewed by either Mr. Rosen or some member of the defense team. I'd like to have a full opportunity to find out what her statement is or what they expect her testimony to be, if in fact the offer of proof is that there was nothing written down or no reports made, and simply it's a reiteration of what was said in chambers, then I'll be satisfied with that. If not, or if there's more to her statements, then I'd like to know exactly what those are.
let's keep it simple. As I indicated, I met with her yesterday evening around 6 o'clock. I think we met maybe 10, 15 minutes at the most.
Blink's weird.
And what I represented to Mr. Dixon and Mr. Jackson in chambers is exactly what she said to me. I did not have an investigator with me. She waived the presence of Mr. Hirsch and or Mr. Nassatir. We chatted informally. I took no notes.
No, Rosen,
And
you
I
son
asked
of a
our
bitch.
investigators to prepare any reports.
Okay. Any other witnesses that you're calling besides Ms. Kaplan?
No.
People have any further witnesses?
The court requested
I thought Mr. Shapiro was going to testify. I'm not, the question is if Mr. Shapiro's testimony is necessary, that's fine. If it's not, that's fine.
I thought we resolved that this morning.
I don't know if he's a precipient witness to what the inquiry is now focused upon.
Yeah, we're not going to call him.
Well, we all have a different recollection of our meeting
you
this
want
morning.
him?
I thought the court said you wanted him in.
Well, I want to resolve this and to get to the facts. If Mr. Shapiro is a precipient witness, then I would like him here. He's represented by Ms. Levine. I don't know what her schedule is, but I'm going to try to wrap this up tomorrow. I would like to get it finished.
We don't intend to call him. I mean,
Well, I understand that, but it's not answering my question as to whether he's a precipient witness. If he was present and saw what Ms. Kaplan said she saw,
He just wants to kill everyone in the
then he's a
room
precipient
at
witness
all
for
times.
any of those similar events.
We've not interviewed Mr. Shapiro
Well,
on that issue.
Let's, perhaps,
I spoke with Mr. Shapiro last night for a matter of moments, just to tell him.
That's fine.
And I'll tell you what I told him. I just indicated to him that he wanted to know the status because he'd been out of the country for a while. I said, at this point, I'll let you know tomorrow after I leave court. That will be the end of our call.
well, I think we should just attempt to have him here tomorrow at least, so at least people can talk to him, whether it's done in court.
He's in a different
or out of court,
universe.
whether
He's
he
in
comes
another
and
dimension.
People have an opportunity to talk to him. That may become relevant. I'm trying to get all the facts that I possibly can so that I can make the right decision. And whether we finish tomorrow or not, at least be prepared to argue. If we don't finish, then we'll put it off to some other time. All right? 9:30. Thank you.
Yo, Strychnine, thanks for coming down. Well, let's see where we're going next here. The judge and counsel discuss a potential defense violation outside the presence of the jury. So what have these sons of bitches done now?
Hey, motherfucker.
Wow, of course we are. Of course. Let's get some more bells in here because Bonnie Bailey, you know what she said after 13 months? Give me some more bells and I will oblige. I don't mind if I do. What have these bastards done now? The judge and counsel discuss a potential defense violation and the jury has been put away. They don't get to hear this. Lord. Again, thanks everyone for hanging and banging here tonight. I really appreciate it. We're doing the damn thing.
Banging.
And yeah,
I'm telling you like it
I'm still on vacation from work right now, so I'm excited. I don't have to really worry about an actual work day tomorrow. I'm just kind of hanging out, and it's already going way too freaking fast. I can tell you that right now. Oh, another share out here. City Kitty and Lauren Conlon, which is a really awesome share. Thank you very much if she's out there watching. Hell yeah. That'd be cool to get her on the show. Wow. Always growing here at Murder Church. Always have the support of a lot of really cool creators and people that I have no business interacting with whatsoever in the true crime community, but they come through these parts. And if you haven't heard yet, Chris Dewitt is going to be coming through and watching Goodfellas with us exclusively on Kick, opening up the movie marathon on Friday night, guys. So let's keep rocking and rolling here, guys.
On the record, counsel are present. Defendant pursuant to a 977 waiver is not present. The district attorneys are present. The jurors and the alternates are not present. We are going to resume the hearing.
Yeah, she seems super cool. She's been interacting with me on Twitter a little bit.
Either taking of
Get her on here for
from
something.
the
That'd be
crime
cool.
scene. I understand the defense wants to call a witness.
Wow.
Okay, I will also
Impressive.
say the
What I
defense
call
has
that.
filed, quote, a continued opposition to court's inquiry regarding physical evidence and request for discovery. Does anybody want to add to that? Because I can rule on that very quickly.
We're not necessarily asking for a ruling necessarily like a brief, but the one thing that we want to address that we're just saying we don't get much traction on.
All right, let's see what they did.
For information or discovery, both from the court and from the district attorney and or both. I've sent a number of discovery requests related to this in writing. I try to work out things informally, but I haven't gotten anything relating to these issues. So,
Well, I've shown you, and if you want, I have in chambers, you can come in anytime you want, the report that Professor Levinson has filed. It has not been made public because I'm very concerned about privilege and getting anywhere, though it doesn't necessarily. There's two versions of the report. When I say versions, one was redacted, to be extremely careful. The other is unredacted, and you've had access, and you can have copies. You can have anything you want.
yeah, that's
all I have.
Okay, that's not something that's the significant concern. We'd like to get a copy of that for our records at some point. The thing that we're most concerned with is the ex parte application pleadings.
Sitting to your left.
Oh,
There it is.
have it.
There you go.
Conform copy, thank you.
Okay.
And then also, any documentation regarding how the district attorney contacted the LAPD, whether it was by letter, by mail. I'm not suggesting anything inappropriate. I just want to know how that occurred and what
I'd be
occurred.
happy to tell you.
Okay, there you go.
There's no documentation of this, but Mr. Jackson, I think, was with me after discussing how we should do this and keep a distance between ourselves and Los Angeles Police Department Robbery Homicide Division. I asked my boss Richard Doyle to call over, speak with the captain at RHD. I believe he did that. I wasn't a part of that conversation. That captain is Kyle Jackson. He explained the situation, what we'd like, and Kyle Jackson assigned two detectives from the Robbery Homicide Division to work on this and deal with Professor Levinson.
Okay.
That's fine, Your Honor. If there's no documentation, that's all I was asking. We've been asking for documentation regarding contacts that the district attorney's office has had with Mr. Pavlik, and we were told, again, we don't know whether this is correct or not, but Mr. Pavlik allegedly is sending emails and or calling the DAs and giving them what we think is privileged information. So we asked for any correspondence or information.
You know what this is about right off, Dizzy? Have I missed?
Or diagrams or whatever that Mr. Pavlik has given the DA.
About Pavlik or Mr. White?
Pavlik.
Okay.
And some of this we don't have. In other words, he's a former investigator. We're not sure what his motivations are. But if they've gotten anything from Mr. Pavlik, we'd like to get a copy.
Is it something that's going to be
of that.
discovered as we move along, or?
A set of photographs or whatever, because we wanted to understand what Mr. Pavlik is doing so that we can protect our clients' privileges, the attorney-client privilege, if they have anything. If they don't, that's fine too. We just need to know that.
Mr. Jackson is perhaps not leaping, but generally getting to his feet. Mr. Jackson?
Slowly coming to his feet. Judge, I'll give you the email. I don't think it's discoverable to the defense. If their main concern is that there's privileged information in there, there's not, and I'll give it to the court for its review. If the court's satisfied that there's no privileged information that was disclosed in the email, then that should satisfy the defense.
Well, no, they may have a right to look at it. In fact, I would.
Well, I would be curious under what portion of 1054.
Well, let me take a look at it. And submit it to me, and I'll make a ruling.
Yeah, that's the appropriate first step.
Jackson knows them laws pretty well.
Mr. Pavlik can say whatever he's going to say. He's testified, I'm sure but if he's given any other items, physical items or photographs, that's what I'm more concerned with. And if it doesn't sound like that's the case.
No, that is correct. Mr. Floyd is correct in his assumption. We received one email that I'm aware of, and I'm holding it, and it's just, it's from Mr. Pavlik to, I think he didn't have any other contact to E. Wiley, Ed Wiley. So I'll turn that into the clerk right now.
Okay, thank you.
That's fine. I appreciate that. That clarifies that and solves that problem.
All right.
We'd like to call Sarah Kaplan.
Just before you do, I mean.
Oh, thanks, buddy. No, thank you, buddy. Hey, pal. Yeah, no, I like you. No, I really like you. You're fine. No, you're okay. No, you know what? I don't know if you're being honest or not.
Stated that was your main concern, but your motion is titled Opposition. Continued opposition to court's inquiry. Now, do you have anything else you want to offer?
Well, no, only that I think we stated our position.
Okay. That's what I'm asking.
Nothing more other than we're still uncertain as to what the authority is for the hearing.
I'm about to give it to you.
Okay, very good.
If I haven't already, which is the inherent authority of the court to safeguard the procedures that are used to make sure that nothing inappropriate, and I'm not making any suggestions, I'm just giving you an overview, anything illegal, inappropriate, or improper takes place in a court proceeding. But if you want case law, you're about to get it, and it's a case that both sides have cited to me. I'm going to cite to you the last paragraph or the last couple of paragraphs of People v. Superior Court, the Fairbanks case, 192 Calap 3rd 32, and this is from page 39 and 40, and it's going to cite the Meredith opinion, which is the California Supreme Court's decision, which all sides are aware because you've cited the case, which is 29 Cal 3rd 682. Meredith means what it...
I'm sorry, before the court rules, could you ask any and all witnesses be excluded at this point?
I don't think that they need to be for what I'm about to read. All right.
For purposes of cross-examination, I think they might.
Okay, cool. Yeah, where's the pickles? Thanks for that share. I thought that was you, and I thought I'd said that before, and that should stick in my brain now. Thank you very much.
Hirsch, if you and your client could just step outside very briefly.
Thank you, Judge. I apologize for the interruption.
That's all right.
Gave you a follow also. Hell yeah, appreciate that.
Citing,
awesome.
And this is from the bottom of page 39 going on to page 40. Meredith means what it says.
Always hanging and
banging. The defense decision to remove or alter evidence is a tactical choice. If counsel or an agent of counsel chooses to remove, possess, or alter physical evidence pertaining to the crime, counsel must immediately inform the court of the action. The court, exercising care to shield privileged communications and defense strategies from prosecution view, must then take appropriate action to ensure that the prosecution has timely access to physical evidence possessed by the defense and timely information
trying to
about
figure out what's going
alteration
on.
of any evidence. That is exactly what I'm doing. I'm taking action.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right? Thank you.
Sarah Kaplan.
All right? Step up to the witness stand. You've previously been sworn. You remain under oath. Would you just, as soon as you're seated and comfortable, and the microphone is...
I'm confused because it said the judge and counsel discuss a potential defense violation outside the presence of the jury.
near to you, would you simply state your name for the
Maybe I'm
record
just not
again?
keeping up with it properly.
Sarah Kaplan.
All right, thank you. You may proceed.
Thank you, Ms. Kaplan. Thank you for returning. I want to show you an exhibit that's been previously marked in this case and ask you a few follow-up questions. This is Court's Exhibit number 34. Do you see that on the screen as you sit on the witness stand?
Yes, I do.
Ms. Kaplan, when you were here before, you talked about your observations of Dr. Lee collecting or looking and searching the foyer area of the Spector home back on February 3rd or February 4th of 2003. Do you recall where you saw him searching in general?
In general, it was in the foyer area.
Okay, and you talked about him looking at some type of a white...
Bassett Page, the prosecution was working with an outside investigator, I guess, and the defense wants the correspondence between them, is what I'm understanding. Okay, I kind of gotten that too, but...
object, is that
All
correct?
right.
Yes.
Now, prior to this occasion that you were with Dr. Lee, had you ever worked with him on other cases to your knowledge?
Many.
Many, okay. Had you ever gone to locations where he looked for things of that?
Yes.
Okay, about how many times?
That I can recall about 3 or 4.
Okay, and in this particular instance, were you taking particular note of what he was looking at or picking up at this particular scene at the Spector home?
No.
I want to show you what's been marked exhibit number 47. May I open the item? It's the...
Yes.
Okay. May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Okay. Showing you what's been marked exhibit number 47. It has 2 what appears to be plastic vials. Do you recognize what is in those vials?
Yes.
Okay, and do you recall whether or not Dr. Lee had any of those with him on that day that you were at the Spector home?
Yes.
Did you ever see him? Do you know whether or not this white object that you previously testified about looked anything similar to what's in these white vials now?
We're back to the trial within a trial.
The white object that I saw?
Yeah, you mentioned that there was a flat, hard white object. Did that have any? Did that?
Forgot about
did
that
look
whole
anything
portion.
like those particular swabs that are in those vials at all?
No.
Okay. You remember something different? Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you remember tweezers being used?
I remember him getting close to the object. Whether he used these or tweezers, I don't know. I had moved on to something else.
Okay. Were you paying attention as to what he actually put in the vial?
No.
Okay. So do you know for a fact whether he ever put anything in the vial as far as this flat, hard white object?
No.
Okay. But you're familiar with him doing swabbings with vials such as this, is that correct? Okay. And Ms. Kaplan, with reference to the location where you saw him looking at this flat, hard white object, do you recall it being somewhere in the front of the stairs in this area that I'm pointing to on exhibit number 34?
I don't recall exactly where it was, no.
Okay. And do you have any specific recollection that he even collected this white object? In other words, retained it for any particular reason?
No.
Okay. In your experience in being with Dr. Lee, does he look at some things but make a decision not to collect things?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how that works?
I don't know what his procedure
Your Honor, I'm
is.
sorry. I would have to object to the last question and answer. I was speaking with Mr. Dixon, and I realized that calls for speculation as to what Dr. Lee decides to pick up or leave or test or
Restate the question. Sustain.
In your experience in working with Dr. Lee, were there things that he would look at, let's say at the Spector home, that he would look at but he just wouldn't collect because it didn't have evidentiary value?
Objection is to the form of the question. She would know what he thinks has evidentiary value.
Sustain.
Okay. Would you see Dr. Lee looking or observing objects or items at the Spector home? Did you see him look at things but not collect them?
Yes.
Okay. do you recall whether Dr. Lee was doing any type of chemical testing when he was at that location at the Spector home on this occasion in February of '03?
Yes.
Okay, could you tell us your recollections of that?
Yes, he was doing it.
Okay.
I don't know what he does.
Okay.
He's a specialist, and that's what he does. I don't know what he does.
Okay, I take it your memory of exactly what Dr. Lee was doing is not very clear at this point in time and after a number of years have passed?
Well, it's not that clear, but also it's his job to do that. I wasn't really paying attention to how he does his job.
Okay, very good. One last question here. Showing you another
Okay, very
exhibit,
good.
I'm just going to ask if you recall this area of the Spector home. I'm showing you what's been marked as Courts Exhibit 26. Do you remember seeing a number of white particles on the ground near in the lower portion of the home?
Yes.
Okay, and showing you exhibit number 26, do you remember seeing this scene?
The carpet.
It's out of context for me, and it's been a while, but I do remember some areas where there was a lot of white particles on the floor.
Okay. Do you know or do you have any recollection as you sit here now whether or not Dr. Lee looked at any of these items and looked at to see what they might be? You remember that event?
I do not remember.
Yo, Oasis Cat, what's
You
up?
just don't have a recollection, is that correct?
Correct.
Very good. Thank you very much. Nothing further.
Thank you, cross-examination.
Yeah, just one moment.
Yes?
Yo, Hella, thanks a lot for bringing some folks in here. Appreciate it. Got a raid going on from Excited Utterance right now. Thank you very much.
Just very briefly.
Perfect time for a little Alan Jackson,
I'll
possibly.
leave one of these up here and one of them so I can look at it. If I understand your testimony correctly, what you saw Dr. Lee pick up off the ground with tweezers was, you did not mistake it for these.
We have circled back around to a trial within a trial. Yes, Bumblebee. Welcome back in here.
Cotton swabs.
The object that I saw on the ground
Appreciate that, Ella.
was
Thank you.
not cotton swabs.
Okay.
Yo, Bob, what's up? Bob Masavo. Masavo. I think it's Masavo. What's up?
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Well, I have some questions, or a question. Have you reviewed your testimony at all from May the 3rd?
No.
Can I read it to you?
Yes.
After discussing this
But it might have just jumped over from the Hella stream. We are deep in episode 19 now of the Phil Spector Hollywood murder trial. This is a trial that, Alan Jackson is the prosecutor, very different from what we've seen when he was with the recent Karen Reed trial. He was the defense attorney for Karen Reed, or one of the defense attorneys. He's the prosecutor in this case against Hollywood musical genius Phil Spector, friend of John Lennon, produced the Beatles albums. When he was in prison and died in prison, he was worth $50 million. So, yeah, very interesting trial. And he murdered a lady by the name of Lana Clarkson, who was at the time a B-movie actress and was actually down on her luck and working a normal job. But yeah, we are deep within this trial currently.
object, which you described
Thank
as
you for
flat
being
with
in here.
uneven edges, and you
Janie, what's
questioned that
up?
it appeared to be a solid object as opposed to a liquid object. Answer, solid. Question,
Appreciate
what did
that,
you see
guys.
Dr. Lee do with this item when he picked it up? Answer, after he picked it up with the tweezers, he put it into a vial, and then you described the vial. Can you explain your change in testimony?
My change in testimony is because he could have used those cotton swabs to pick it up and test it, however he tests it.
No, I understand that, but you were very specific about him picking it up with tweezers and placing the object in a vial.
He could have picked it up with the cotton swabs rather than tweezers.
Did you see him pick it up with something and place it in the vial?
Yes.
And you're clear about that?
Yeah.
All right, I have nothing further.
Nothing further?
Anything further?
Not with that clarification.
All right, thank you for being here. You may step down.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Hirsch.
Is she excused or something?
Subject to
Yo,
recall,
people
she's
coming in
excused
from
at this time, sir.
J-Stream, get the hell in here. Wow, 2 raids tonight. Let's go. Thank y'all so much. Jumping right in the midst of a Phil Spector murder trial. Again, calling it a Hollywood murder trial, folks. Thank you so much for coming in here. You may get a little Alan Jackson still to go here tonight. We're going to be still hanging out for about another hour at least. Thanks for coming in here. Appreciate it, guys. Hit that like as you come in the door. If you haven't, if you follow me on Twitter, on X, share this out. Or if not, share this out. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, guys.
For a moment here.
Yes.
Kelly Bobelli getting back on the wheel. Hell yeah. Appreciate that. I think we're two names away from the spin right now.
We're going to argue this case. We're going to be asking for a ruling in the remedy, and we have a proposed.
Go ahead. Have you shown it to the defense?
I'm good, Hella. I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you so much for bringing folks over here. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right.
I'm even extra good because I'm on vacation this week. I'm super excited about having a week to just kind of chill out, hang and bang, not have to do nothing too crazy. We're not messing around, baby. We don't mess around over here in the Buzz Nation, huh?
Son of a bitch!
Publicly Buzzed, baby. Welcome in here, everybody. If you're coming through and you do not subscribe currently to Publicly Buzzed, do so. Do so. We have a hell of a week planned here. I see everybody coming through right now. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Jay, thank you. Hella, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you're coming through right now, this week we go live the next time on Thursday night at 9, but on Friday night we're having a movie marathon on another website called kick.com. We're going to be watching movies from 9 p.m. Eastern time to about 7 a.m. and we're going to be starting that son of a bitch out with Goodfellas with Chris Stewart as a special guest. Thank you so much for coming through here. Appreciate it. Jay, thank you, brother. I know Jay just had an absolute banger of a stream. Yes, we do not mess around over here at Publicly Buzzed. Everybody coming through here, thank you so much. Akasha throwing in a $4.99 super sticker just to get on that wheel. And anybody that may be new coming through, please hit the sub. We do something over here really freaking cool. And we have a wheel that we spin every 12 names that get on that wheel. And the way to get on the wheel is to do any kind of donation, whether that's a super like Akasha just did, or if you gift out memberships, or if you drop anything in the Venmo, PayPal, anything like that, gets you on a wheel that will be spun at the end of 12 names. You could win merchandise from PubliclyBuzzed.com. So hell yes, get in here. And Akasha, let me put you on the wheel real quick. We've almost got a spin ready to rock and roll here tonight. Let's go, folks. Oh shit, Kitty C coming through with a $4.99. Hey everyone, Stream Jumper here, hoping for a spot on the wheel, and you just got that, son of a bitch, Kitty C. You got that. Let me see how many more until we've wrapped this wheel up, at least for this spin. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Our first wheel of the night is set. So anybody that comes back through on the next wheel, right here, Sweet Lou is starting out the very next wheel, guys. And Julie, and that's not popping through. I'm not sure why. I broke it. I was hitting it so many times. So wow, I think everybody kind of broke it. Holy shit. Sweet Lou, I'm getting you on the wheel for the next time. Holy shit. Let me just get this on here, because if I don't, I will totally forget. Was it popping through? Oh no, I don't know. I think I broke it from hitting it so many times there. Sweet Lou, thank you so much. I appreciate the shit out of that. Julie Moran. Okay, anybody that does get membered up here tonight, you have something super freaking special that dropped today in the video section. We are eating UK exclusive European snacks and cookies sent to us from channel member and family, pretty much, by the name of Charlotte. If you're not familiar with her, you probably are within the chats. She sent us a gift, a care package that we open and eat and drink. We make tea proper with her. That is in the video section right freaking now. Go and do that right now, folks. I don't know why that one didn't pop. Oh, there we go. Sweet Lou. I got you through there right now, baby. Angela, Julie Moran, get the hell in here. I'm going crazy. Wow, this is going off the charts right now. We just had an insane... God, between Hell and Jay, and so many people just come the fuck through here. C. Taylor subbed up. That's what I'm talking about. Mia Beto, $4.99, and I'm on a vacation that is actually a staycation, and that is exactly right, because I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying at the house, and yeah, enjoying it, actually. Enjoying not have to do a lot of extra work currently. Thank you so much. Holy shit, Mia Beto coming through here. Then Jay said, what's up? Please put Tracy K on the wheel for her B-Day $5 holler. Let's do it. Hell yes. Jay, I got you, dude. Thank you so much. I've got her on there right now. Jay coming through, putting you on the wheel, brother. Oh, actually putting Tracy K on the wheel, and happy birthday. First of all, let's get that in the chat right quick. Tracy K, happy freaking birthday. Man, you could win a Publicly Buzzed shirt. And while everyone's here, let me just show it off. Why the hell not? We have a lot of cool merchandise over here currently, guys. Whether that's the new Hangin' and Bangin' shirt, whether that's the new Drink the Kool-Aid Murder Church coffee mug, the hat, the Murder Church cult shirt right now is currently hanging out in the shop. Yeah, we have a lot of cool merchandise. The hottest thing right now flying off the shelves is the Publicly Buzzed Mysteries shirt that is happening right now. But yeah, if you're new here and you are not familiar, we do Murder Church every Sunday morning at 9 a.m., Tuesday night at 8 p.m., and we're doing the Phil Spector murder trial, which is absolute freaking madness right now. So yeah, Tracy K, I got you on there. Thanks to Jay. Hell yes. What else is happening through here? Because this is going freaking off the charts right now. Joanne coming through, gifting out another membership. Bob Musavo got that son of a bitch. Welcome in here, bud. Let's go.
Hold up.
Shit.
Hold up.
What is happening tonight, guys? This is seriously insane.
Welcome to the party.
Joanne, I'm getting you on the wheel right now. A whole nother wheel is filling up right now. Wow. Blowing my mind right now. And again, hit the like. That helps us out tremendously as I fill this out in my phone so I don't lose track. And Joe Schmo come in right behind it with a $5. You want me to watch Goodfellas with you? What am I, a clown? You better be over there. You better be over there Friday night on Kick watching Goodfellas with me, Dan, and Chris Do It. Joe Schmo, I'm putting you on the wheel right now. You could win some merchandise here tonight, my brother. Wow. I don't even know what's going on. I'm going to start filling out this wheel here in a second. Bumblebee, $1.99. Got to get on the wheel at least once tonight. Wow, we have an insane crew that just popped through the door here, and I am very grateful. Thank you all so much. This is actually insane. I can't even keep up with it hardly. Wow. And anytime we get new members, folks, we always give out the beers in the chats, the probably nothing. And there's something in there that we call a Navy Grog, which was, if you see it right there, between the hell yes, the Navy Grog is Phil Spector's drink of choice. That little drink right there with a little green something in the top. Yeah, it's a little fancy drink that he likes to put. So I'm going to start filling out this new wheel, and we're going to give away some merchandise tonight, folks. Let's go. Holy shit, thank you so much.
Wish to argue this matter? I assume there's no other evidence to be presented.
No other evidence.
Okay.
Your Honor, just as a precursor, and I wasn't sure what to expect out of Ms. Kaplan's testimony.
All right.
One of the things that I think was very clear, and the reason that I asked her to step out is because I was going to quote her when she said on direct examination.
Oh my God, Jennifer Adams.
And that she
I'll see you too. Hold on. Lord.
Et cetera, and under questioning by Mr. Rosen about this inquiry, she clearly knew what the inquiry was about, but she was hedging her bets. And Mr. Rosen was very careful with his questioning, and Mr. Rosen asked, did you pick anything up consistent with what Mr. Diamond's testimony was?
What is going on right now?
Was, no, I know what my professional responsibility is, and no, I didn't pick anything up.
Filling out the wheel.
Completely ignoring, and I'm not casting aspersions on Ms. Kaplan specifically, but there seems to be a tone and tenor to the entire defense and agents of the defense when they were at the crime scene. And she completely ignored what Meredith and Fairbanks state, which is the obligation to provide the prosecution.
I'm going to put Jennifer on my phone first before I forget.
About its seizure is absolute. And the defense can't use that kind of seizure or alteration of evidence to their benefit and to the detriment of the prosecution. We have, and I understand what the court's assessment of credibility is with regard to these three witnesses, and it's probably different, I would guess, between Gregory Diamond and Stan White and Sarah Kaplan. However, I don't think the court can ignore what all three witnesses said, and this would not have come to fruition had it not been for Gregory Diamond. Greg Diamond picked up the phone and decided to make a phone call because his conscience or otherwise dictated or mandated that he do so. Heretofore, Mr.
2007 Alan Jackson arguing right now.
To ever hear of him. But once he made that phone call, it sort of unlocked the Pandora's box for the defendants, or for the defense, I should say. His testimony was, I saw an object being manipulated. Now, he may have gotten some of the characters wrong. 4 years may have done some damage to his memory. He recalls that it was Sarah Kaplan picking it up and handing it to Dr. Bodden. Dr. Bodden denied ever handling or touching a piece of physical evidence at the scene. Fine, take that for what it's worth. But Greg Diamond said, I know that I saw something being manipulated at the scene. What it was, I'm not sure. Then we get to Stan White. And Stan White, independent of Greg Diamond, completely independent of him, says back in July of 2003, Detective Lilyfield, you guys missed a piece of evidence. What did it look like, Stan? Well, it looked like a small fingernail or a part of a fingernail. Well, what does a fingernail look like? A fingernail is small, it's going to be white or opaque, and if it's torn off, it's going to have uneven edges, and it's going to be flat. Then we come to Miss Kaplan. Miss Kaplan, did you pick
New will
anything up?
is
No,
ready.
I didn't do that. Absolutely
Hell
not.
yeah.
Then under cross-examination by me, well, did you
Shit.
see anybody
And Dom's mom said, you know what? I want on the new wheel with the $2.99. Thank you so much, Dom's mom. I'm going to get you on there right now, as the new wheel's already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This new wheel's already filling up. We might get another spin here tonight. So let me get this on here, and I'm going to go ahead and gift this one out right now. We're going to go ahead and do this right now. Super. If I can type. And we're going to rock and roll, folks. I appreciate everyone for coming through here tonight. Thank you so much. Let's give a shirt away right now. Give me 1 second. Akasha won that son of a bitch. Ladies and gentlemen, Akasha just won a shirt. Any shirt from the merch store but the Kool-Aid shirt, the Cult shirt. That one is off bounds because it cost $8 extra to put writing on the back of it. But any other shirt, including the coffee mug, that is up for getting as well, Akasha. Get at me at publiclybuzzed@gmail.com or get at me through the X/Twitter messages, and you will get one of those bad boys sent to you. Hell yeah. And I think that's actually her second win, if I'm not mistaken. I think she's coming up on on my list of buys. Yes, you're the next. So next what I have to do, I have to get Bonnie Bailey's second one. So technically you're actually next because I need to make sure she gets her first one in Canada. So Akasha, your Publicly Buzzed Lightning Bolt shirt will be ordered probably after the 21st. That's when the next round of payments come through with YouTube. So after that, your next one will be shipped out, and I'm going to get you on my list right now. So get me another one, girl, and we will get you rocking and rolling, baby. Thank you all so much, and we are close to another spin if it comes through tonight. Boom.
Hold up.
Huh?
Hold up.
Huh?
Hold up.
Huh?
Just chilling.
We just chilling up in there. What are we doing?
Just chilling. Respect my house.
Camera ain't even on over here. I'm just talking to the microphone. I didn't even know my camera wasn't on. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for hanging and banging here tonight. I appreciate it. We're not messing around, friends. We're not messing around.
I'm telling you like it is, baby.
Kelly Bobelli said, you know what? I will take another spot, and she's going to get it right now. We're going to get this thing filled out tonight again. I can already feel it. Who feels lucky, huh? Kelly, getting on there right now. And we're going to keep rolling while we do it. Aspiring Court Reporter, damn, $4.99. God damn it, put me on the next one. I could have bought 2 shirts by now. Now, that's the thing. It's a little bit of a raffle type situation. We've had multiple winners, okay? We've had multiple people that have won multiple times. Bonnie Bailey, Akasha now. Maybe even a few. Madeline has won twice. We've had other people have put other amounts of funds into the wheels that can't quite pull it off. So they keep putting in. And we've also had people that gift out, just like Jay did for Tracy's birthday. who was going to be on this will, but let me get you on here real quick, Sarah. I really appreciate that. No, Dom's mom came through. We may have one right now. Let's see where we're at. Let's see if we have another one ready to spin before we start this video back up, just to make sure. I'm going to put Dom's mom right here after. Appreciate that. Mia Beto also. Damn, guys. Damn, y'all ain't playing around here tonight. Let me just see where we're at. First of all, hold on. Where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Mia Beto just finished that thing out. $2.99. Holy shit. You can get a little special Halle Berry for it. My God. Hold on. I can't even type right now. And I'm gonna start the video back up as I write this out on the wheel. Hey, Bianca, thank you so much for coming through here. Welcome in. We're having a banger show here tonight. It's been absolutely insane, actually. Everybody coming through. I really appreciate it, guys. And we have another wheel ready to go with some more merch ready to be given away. Give me 1 second. Damn. Crazy evening. Crazy.
Small, white, flat, uneven edges.
Buzz Nation coming through, baby.
What did it look like? And what I just indicated was...
Hit that like if you haven't.
It was...
Shit does help out. I know it's like crazy, but...
Picked up with a pair of tweezers. Now she's
get this other will going.
I don't think it takes much to figure out why she's equivocating about that. She probably saw Dr. Lee's testimony and his cross-examination last week. It was picked up with tweezers. It was placed in a plastic vial. It was a, quote, white thing. It was, quote, about the size of my fingernail, perhaps. It was, quote, flat with uneven edges. It was, quote...
2 wheels in one night. That's rare nowadays. This has been a good one.
Again, upon additional questioning by me, after he picked it up with the tweezers, he put it, I'm sorry, did you see where he picked it up? I'm sorry, what did you see Dr. Lee do when he picked up this item? Quote, after he picked it up with the tweezers, her words, not mine, he put it into a vial, her words, not mine. It had a plastic lid. It was cylindrical, about 6 inches in height. Was it a solid object or a liquid object? No, it was a solid object. Her testimony couldn't be any clearer.
And Bo Pete's going to start out the new will. Gotcha, Bo Pete.
Dr. Lee was asked about a couple of photographs. And Judge, this has previously been marked, and I apologize. This is a court's exhibit, and I don't know which exhibit it is.
It's not important. This is the photograph, and it's been previously described. It shows a white object, or what appears to be a white object, sitting atop wood grain.
Thank you. And this is an enlargement. We've been asking for the negatives for some time, and hadn't gotten them, and hadn't gotten them, and hadn't gotten them, and now it's kind of clear why we hadn't gotten them from Dr. Lee. Because when Dr. Lee was told to take a look at this item, that's clearly a white, flat item, sitting atop a wood grain area that's previously been described as the bottom stair, with uneven edges, he said, oh no, that's a gouge. That was his testimony. Is he lying or is he incompetent? Either way, it's not the truth. That is clearly not a gouge in the wood. We know what the gouges look like. That's why we had these.
Sorry, Art.
That's why we had these.
It's the last sentence Mr. Floyd's going to hear before he's taken away. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
That is to anybody's determination, Judge, not a gouge. Dr. Lee testified under oath.
New will ready to go, baby.
Under oath, he did not pick anything up. And now Ms. Kaplan comes back.
Whoa.
And by the way, he convened.
Hold on. Jay coming through here. 12 months. A year of Publicly Buzzed to 10 more. And that's the bottom line because your mom said so. And we're so freaking close to getting to 10K right now, Jay. Thank you so much for all your help, dude. Jay's the freaking man. I know a lot of people just came over here from Jay's stream, man. Thank you all so much. Seriously, you know. Again, Publicly Buzzed is something that we do. I was about to say Murder Church is something that we do here twice a week currently. I do here twice a week currently. We have, other shows. I'm trying to get more panel stuff going with a lot of other channels. But I think murder church is something that is in the trial scheme of things. You can do a classic trial. It's a little bit, you can kind of relax a little bit, you know, it's not as much pressure. And as a community, we can all come in and just shoot the shit, quite frankly. So I appreciate everyone for being here. And thank you all so much. Dom's mom coming through again with another 99 cents. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And that's the second name on the new will. And Dom's mom is on the last will. So let's see what we get here. I'm going to go ahead and do another spin. Let's give away another shirt right now. Huh? Why the fuck not? Let's do it. Let's give away another shirt right now. Let's go. Let's go. Again, if you are unfamiliar, we have a lot of cool shirts in the merch store. Let me get this over here. We're going to go right now. Let's go. Let's go. Hold on. It's a good spin. Dom's mom! Dom's mom just won that son of a bitch. Let's go! Dom's mom! Hell yeah. That is what I'm talking about. Dom's mom just come through. She's like, let's go. Let's go. We ain't messing around. I hit the camera there at the end. Dom's mom. Hell yeah. Get in the merch store, Dom's mom. Yeah, you won that son of a bitch. Get in there, PubliclyBuzzed.com. Let me show it off one more time while we're here. Hold on. Hold on. Right here. New Hanging and Banging shirt. You could get the Kool-Aid shirt. You could get the Publicly Buzzed Lightning Bolt shirt. The Dandy Savage shirt. The Buzzed Mystery shirt, which is the hottest thing happening. Partner in Crime. We have a lot of cool shirts. Murder Church Before Adulting I just seen currently out there in the wild. We have a lot of cool stuff, guys. And also make sure you hit some of the other sections there. But any t-shirt, but again, the Murder Church Cult shirt, that one is off limits just because they took advantage of me. I'm going to keep saying it. Thank you so much. Dom's mom, get in there. Let's go. I'm not messing around tonight, folks. Thank y'all so much. Seriously.
A set of swabs inside
crazy.
the file. We also
That's crazy,
have a
Sarah.
photograph
So close.
of the workstation.
So close. Hell yeah, Tammy, welcome in here. Hope you're subbed up. We get a little wild over here, folks. We get a little bit wilder. We're watching an all-night movie party Friday night, okay? As a group over on another website. Let me put the link of that over here real quick. Bumblebee, $1.99. Holy shit, what is happening? You guys have actually lost your minds here tonight. And I'm for it. Let's go. And I'm putting the link in here real quick. Make sure.
Pointing appears to be a plastic bag, like a Ziploc baggie, with a bunch of swabs in it. Maybe Dr. Lee did have swabs with him that day.
Make
they didn't look
sure
like they were in those vials.
You're following here.
And he didn't have to go through the
Kick.com/PubliclyBuzzed. That all on Friday night is going to be a scene. I'm telling you.
I understand by trying to get those swabs out. Is that a convenient answer as to why the prosecution never got this? Maybe a convenient answer, but it's not the truth, Judge. That item we never got. That item we asked for over and over and over.
This is out of control.
And when you couple all of that with Robert Shapiro's meeting with Mr. Dixon and Mr. McCormick, where he said, hey guys, you guys missed a piece of evidence, and we collected it. There's no question that Ms. Kaplan is, I don't want to say involuntarily, I don't think she would be here voluntarily, but somewhat involuntarily and begrudgingly.
That would be crazy.
The truth.
If we get another one, that would probably be a record.
That crime scene.
I don't know if we've ever had 3 in one night.
Now are in a horrible position.
Bonnie
of
Bailey.
not having that piece of evidence to possibly assist
we might
them
get it.
and
I ain't even looked at my
assist
apps. Hold
the
on.
prosecution in a reconstruction of what happened that day, or an evaluation of the probative nature of that evidence. It's absolutely mind-boggling that the defense, and I'm not talking about anybody sitting at this table, but the defense team, the members of the defense or agents of the defense at that time would engage in this kind of conduct. I would simply ask the court to switch things.
Wow.
Could the court
Joanne
imagine
also.
what it would be thinking if we...
7 more names to another spin. Holy shit.
This kind of evidence was now before the court, with us being on the hot seat. I can't imagine what this court's attitude would be, or what this court's findings would be. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. We are now, I think, substantially prejudiced through a negative amount of evidence. In other words, we don't know how much that could have helped us, and we'll never know. Because I am convinced as I stand here, that item has been destroyed or discarded. Otherwise, we'd have it by now. And with the court's inquiry, I think you could ask, where is this thing? And I think the defense roundly will be able to say, honestly, by everybody at this table, you know what, Judge, we don't know. We have no idea where it is or what it is. But the fact of the matter is it's been destroyed. And I think we've been prejudiced. That's why we filed what we've asked for as far as a remedy is concerned. We believe it's the only remedy that will satisfactorily assist us in proceeding with our case, given the fact that we've now been crippled by conduct of the defense agents at the crime scene. I'll submit at this point.
Thank you. Defense.
Yeah, just briefly, Your Honor. With reference to whatever this is on the stairs, and there's been a lot of testimonies to this thing here, the court has a number of pictures that show the scene when they did their initial search. And they were essentially, according to the testimony of Mr. Renteria, they went there for a number of hours. A number of criminalists and detectives searched this area, which they described as the crime scene. This is clearly, whatever this is, a chip or an object, whatever, because there's conflicting evidence on it. It wasn't there before, so I'm not sure what this is, but it has nothing to do, I think, with the events that we're here in court on. Where that ends up, we really don't know. Mr. Jackson has made a lot of arguments implicitly saying that Ms. Kaplan has skewed her testimony or done something untoward as far as her involvement in this alleged item or items that there's quite a bit of uncertainty about as to what they were. Basically, I would ask the court to, think in terms of, it wasn't her job to observe these things and to take note of what these items were. Dr. Lee testified that he collected certain items, he did certain things, he swapped things, he used some chemicals to do testing. He documented all of that in his notes, and the court has his notes and his documentation regarding that as well as his testimony. There's no evidence in the record that Ms. Kaplan watched Dr. Lee's testimony on TV, as argued that somehow she's saying anything that, or did anything outside of the record here. The evidence that we know about is that they've lost items of evidence. That type of thing happens. We didn't lose anything. Dr. Lee collected 2 things. He's testified about that. The real issue, I think, really involves how the court views the various stories.
Outside on that son of a bitch. Gotcha.
Particular evidence collection. One, we have what I call the diamond allegation.
6, halfway to another spin. I don't know if we'll get it tonight.
And that is
it's deep.
He was very specific.
It's been a wild night, though. We'll see.
Of this particular allegation, he said that Sarah Kaplan picked up something, gave it to Dr. Bodden. Dr. Bodden, and then there's some inconsistencies here, but there's an inference that Mr. Pavlik put in his pocket. That's his allegation. Totally untrue.
Yeah, we've been this trial inside of a trial within this Phil Spector murder trial for a while here, and it's a little bit tedious, and we end up going. I've kind of forgotten about it until this moment when we got another outside of the presence of the jury moment here, where again we're going back into this, extra trial that again the prosecution is saying, the defense in this case has been. I forget the actual wording that they've been proper, basically potential defense violations.
Essentially, Dr. Lee.
And I will say this: the defense has been extremely shady, in my personal opinion, during this. And I don't like a lot of these dudes. And I know that's personal, maybe because I've been watching it, but I don't know. Aspiring court reporter Sarah coming through with a $2.99 on the back end. We may still get this spin here. Holy shit, guys! My God, I see a lot of more stuff coming through. Also, here, hold on. My God. Court reporter who has been trying to get a shirt as well. I don't think she has picked one up in. She's been inside of this also since we started this game. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I think we got some more members, and I'm really excited about any new members that may get the possibility of seeing the new video that is currently up on publiclybuzzed.com. Drop today of us eating and making tea the proper way with Charlotte from the UK, and she sent us a care package directly from the UK. So yeah, please go and check out that video. Gail coming through, gifting out a membership and getting on the wheel, former winner as well, but Bianca getting on there. Welcome the hell in here, Bianca. And again, go check out exactly what I was just talking about. You're going to enjoy it.
Welcome to the party,
I do believe. And then holy shit, Holly Berry is going to gift out 5 memberships. Let's see. This is exactly what I was talking about. You 5 people, please go check that out. Patricia Burns, Moonfox Studios, LN23, Queen Olive, and Peter Taylor.
Welcome to the party, pal. Hey, motherfucker.
Let's go. And Holly Berry getting on top of this right now. And Holly Berry, of course, has her own song. Oh. She is a special around these parts. I'm going to get her on here right quick. 5 gifted memberships. Wow. And underneath it, Bo Pete again. Bo Pete's been trying to get a shirt for a while now. Coming through with the $1.99. Where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 or 2 away. Oh shit, Kitty C coming through. We're 1 away from another spin. Holy shit, what is even going on here tonight? I love you guys and how supportive and funny and smart you all are. Love our streams together. We have the best communities here between a lot of different channels. I'm lucky enough to be friends with Jay and a lot of other folks, Defense Diaries, Joe Jackalone, a lot of guys that are established in this community that are nice enough to be really cool with me. And Jay, man, is a brother from another mother, the absolute man. And everybody coming through here giving out the beers, the grogs, the probably nothings, the hell yeahs, the murder churches. Let's fucking go. Dave in the house. What's going on, Dave? We're 1 name away. 1 name away from another spin, guys.
Involved in that. There's no evidence as to
I think,
where he
right?
was or when that.
Or did Kitty round it up? Kitty might have rounded up. Hold on. I might be fucking up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes. Carly Rooks is going to round that off. Hold on, Carly. And we have the 3rd free shirt that is going to be given away here tonight. Holy shit. And Carly Rooks is finishing that off. And then starting up the next wheel will be Sarah. So she's going to be making her odds just a little bit more possible as she spreads it out and getting on the next wheel, starting out the next wheel with 99 cents. Thank you so much, Sarah. I appreciate the shit out of that. And we're going to keep rolling. Wow, look at this. Everybody in the chat right now is blowing my mind. Let me get this other wheel going. Holy crap. Wow. I think I got you, Bo. Yeah, Bo, I got you. You're on there. I got you with the 190, with the 139. You were on this son of a bitch. Absolutely. With the 199, excuse me. You're on this son of a bitch. Woo! You're not fucking around tonight, guys. Y'all are blowing my mind. Hold on, let me get the wheel back over here. Another shirt, 3 shirts tonight.
He says that involved him and Dr. Lee, had nothing to do with Miss Kaplan, had nothing to do with anybody else. Very small object. That didn't happen. Dr. Lee, testifies to what he collected and so forth. Then we have this issue with this
wild
object,
night.
Whatever it is, we really don't know what.
Oh my God, Kelly Popelli, what is happening? Oh my Lord, y'all making me work tonight, baby. I'm here for it though.
It was done by the criminals in this case, and the court heard that Mr. Renteria, and this is something that happens at scenes, is that they look at a lot of things. They don't collect everything.
Wow.
They don't collect every speck of blood. They don't collect the big clump of blood that's on the floor. They leave it because it doesn't have what's called evidentiary value. They have to make judgments like that. I think that there's very much uncertainty as to what this alleged object is, and there's some unclearness as to that. We've just been given the people's proposed pinpoint jury instruction, which we feel that we'd like to have time to brief and so forth. But if the issue ever does come before the jury, if this allegation gets before the jury, and that Mr. Spector, because there's no evidence that Mr. Spector was there, had any knowledge or any.
Dave, I saw your message earlier about that Phil Spector Netflix thing. I'm going to get on that also. And Aiden, welcome in here, Aiden, with the 199. That gets you on the wheel for the next spin. Excuse me, Aiden. I'm going to get you on there right now so I don't lose that. That's a new name also. Welcome in here. I hope you're subbed up. And I hope you've also hit that like here tonight really helps us out. We have 3 names already on the new wheel, and the wheel never stops. So Thursday night, 9 p.m., if we don't finish up with a 4th wheel here tonight, which would be absolutely insane, it will go into Thursday, folks. Holy shit. What the fuck?
As to anything that occurred, these are allegations that are being made against former counsel, basically, 2 former counsels.
Yeah, Bo Pete, you're on this wheel twice.
Implicitly, Ms. Kaplan. So I would ask the court not to say or do anything with reference to a jury instruction, because I think that, at this point, I think it's premature, and I think the jury would have to hear this evidence too. Right now, Mr. White, for example, he's not even on the witness list. Mr. Pavlik is it, Mr. Diamond, they're not on anybody's witness list. They're not witnesses to this proceedings, neither is Ms. Kaplan. So if the people are going to raise this issue, if the jury's going to be instructed, we've got a due process right to put the contrary information in. This is a jury trial. I understand the court's inquiry and the court's ruling as to what this proceeding is about, but I don't think the court can instruct the jury as to facts and circumstances that the jury has to accept. If there's contrary evidence to that, then the jury, basically I think that would be a violation of due process and violation of Mr. Spector's right to a jury trial. So I don't know what the court's thinking is as far as the evidence in this case, but I don't think there's any clear evidence as to what was...
Bianca's getting her chances with another $1 in here.
I would like to make a few parting comments, and we'll leave it at that.
Mr. Reno?
Thank you, Your Honor. It just, somewhat removed from the scientific aspect of it, but from a legal point of view, the whole issue has seemed to me to be very speculative from the beginning. And when Mr. Jackson argued that the prosecution has been crippled, it begs the question, well, in what way? Because there's been no theory
just looking through here real quick.
as to what this item might have been.
Got you on here right now.
How it,
Bianca.
what its characteristics other than being small, white, and flat.
Hope I'm saying her name right.
Covers a lot of things. But in order to be heard, there has to be some theory of what it was and how it factually would have assisted the case and how its absence has hurt the case. We haven't heard anything like that. They're asking the court to speculate as to what it was, in fact, how its physical attributes would have contributed in some unknown way.
Get this wheel back over here real quick.
The absence of those physical attributes have hurt the case. And I just don't think, no matter what you find, you assume for the sake of argument, Dr. Lee picked something up and it got lost or destroyed or whatever happened. I think that's a leap based on the contradicting stories or contrary stories that we've heard.
All right, guys, let me go use the bathroom. I'm going to let these guys continue to argue about this. And, I'm going to use the bathroom, be right back, and we'll do another spin, guys. Holy shit. Everyone coming through here tonight, thank you all so much. I really freaking appreciate it. Wow.
Assume that happened for the sake of the analysis and argument. Specifically, how'd that hurt him? I don't think
Jessica Shunk, welcome in. Hope you subbed up.
And make an adverse ruling against Mr. Spector really had nothing to do with this matter. That's all I want.
Wow, Dave. Yeah, I'm going to check that out, dude.
Just a little bit, if I could, Your Honor. At the end of the day, it's the court that's going to make the call, obviously, on this and make the credibility calls. But it seems to me
Henry Lee seemed really shady, right?
People who told you that something was picked up there, described it, both Stan White and Sarah Kaplan in a very similar way. And Bob Shapiro, through the documents that have been filed here, declarations not only from me but from Kevin McCormick, and letters sent to him, that he told us that too. He told us that something was left behind. And the only person that you have on the other side is Henry Lee. And Henry Lee says, they keep saying, well, stuff gets lost. But that's not what Henry Lee said. Henry Lee said he didn't pick anything up, that Sarah Kaplan was mistaken, that this was a cotton swab. To answer Mr. Brune on and maybe segue into our jury instruction, and this is just a proposed instruction, but I think it goes some ways towards meeting our needs here. What is it? Well, I'll tell you what we think it is. We think it's the victim's fingernail, and that Stan White's right, and it has blood, and it has bullet wipe on it, and it's because her hand was in her mouth trying to push the gun away when Phil Spector pointed the gun in her face, in her mouth, and fired the weapon. And the fact that the bullet wipe would be on her fingernail would show that her hands and her fingers were not on the trigger. She did not commit suicide. That's why it's gone. But we'll never know that. mean, Lynn Harold, who has testified in this hearing and who will testify before the jury, has told us that the ability to actually see this, analyze it, and do her scientific tests, and then come before the jury and tell the jury what she thinks it is, would be extremely helpful. It would either demonstrate that what I'm telling the court, what we think it may be, is true or not. But we will never know, and we'll never know because Henry Lee, I say, and I think the evidence shows, pocketed this thing. He didn't lose it because he never said he found something that he misplaced. He said it was a cotton ball or a cotton swab, and you have 3 witnesses who say otherwise. We'll never know, but I think this evidence could have helped us greatly, and it goes right to the heart of this case. And we think that either our proposed CalCrim 306 modified or some version of that would help explain to the jury exactly what happened to this and try to make this a little bit more fair situation. And again, I think as Mr. Jackson said, we aren't suggesting anyone at this table did this. It was previous counsel and previous experts. But, and we've tried to make that clear in the jury instruction by distancing the instruction and the request from the defendant here, but we think some version of this is required. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm prepared to move forward. They had, basically, I don't know who has the burden, but they opened, you responded, and now I'm ready to move forward. If there's something that you think I need to know as opposed to arguing law, Mr. Plord, by all means offer it, but otherwise I'm ready to proceed.
Well, the only thing is that evidence from Mr. Shapiro is not before the court, nor Mr. Dixon and so forth.
It's not evidence, but there are declarations that are on file that were filed in this case. Although it was done in Alhambra, it's still the same case, and they're still on file, and the court, of course, can take judicial notice of any document in its files.
And I would also note that they were refiled by Mr. Sortino in this court.
Yes, that's correct. So the court can certainly, they're not subject. If you want to cross-examine anybody on any declaration, let me know.
I understand.
All right. What I'm going to do, first I'll review the facts as I see them to the best of my ability. I'll tell you what I think the law is, and then I'll come to a ruling. Basically, what you have is the judicial version of the famed Japanese movie Rashomon. You have several people telling you the same story from a different perspective, and every perspective is different. Mr. Diamond comes in. He has Dr. Bodden viewing what he believes is a piece of tooth, and somehow that's never presented to the prosecution. Mr. White says that he saw Dr. Lee take an object, which he says is a fingernail, which he testifies that Dr. Lee says, no, that's not a fingernail. He doesn't further identify it. He has him putting it in tissue paper. That object is not present. You have Ms. Kaplan who comes forward. She says she saw an object. It is the size of her fingernail. It is flat. It is white. It has irregular edges. She saw Dr. Lee place it in a vial with or without tweezers. That's the one thing that's changed to some degree, and it's not brought forth. Dr. Lee testifies he never did that at all. Anything he gathered was placed in paper bindles. He didn't place any piece of evidence in a vial. The only thing he placed in a vial were the swabs that come in that vial that he used for presumptive testing. And he has testified very clearly he never had any such object. My duty, to the best that I can, is to resolve what the facts actually are, because you have differing versions. It's very clear. I wasn't there. You weren't there. What was done when people, and they're not, these versions, to me, are not reconcilable. It is not simply saying that everybody saw the same thing, but they're describing it differently. That's very hard to do based on what's been presented to me. So let me go through the witnesses and tell you what my conclusions are. Mr. Diamond, in trying to judge his credibility, he's the person that interjected himself into this case to the degree that he was there at the scene. He was a research attorney or a law clerk. He wasn't an attorney because he's not an attorney. He was serving as a law clerk. He comes forward some 4 years after the event basically tries to tell the district attorney, there's something bothering me, I need to tell you things about the case you need to know. The district attorney does exactly the right thing because they realize what his position is, and he may be getting into privileged areas, and they basically say, don't tell us, we don't want to be infected by this. If that's what you're doing, we'll set up an alternative procedure, which they do. They have the court appoint a special master, which is the appropriate, in my mind, way to do it to protect privilege. The special master makes an inquiry, quickly realizes that despite his solemn obligation, and those of us who all do criminal law and have for, I couldn't add up the number of years between all of us sitting here in the courtroom because it would go into the hundreds, realize that if you're going to practice criminal law, you may hear things or see things that you don't like, but when you represent a criminal defendant, there are privileges that attach to that, and you don't talk about it to anyone outside the immediate, if you will, family, the defense team. And if Mr. Diamond is not happy with what is required of a criminal attorney or those working for a criminal attorney, then his choice is to not practice in that area of the law. Privileges exist for a sound reason, because we want people, whether it's the attorney-client privilege, to be able to talk to their attorney freely without fear of being having their words turned against them, or whether it's a priest-penitent privilege where someone wants to be able to talk to their spiritual advisor and not worry that it's going to be used against them, or whether it's a doctor-patient privilege and somebody wants to be able to talk to their doctor without fear of that being used against them, because those all have higher reasons why we do that. And if Mr. Diamond doesn't recognize that obligation, and certainly in the report prepared by Professor Levinson, it appears to me that he was attempting to breach that privilege, and he wasn't allowed to. Certainly, Professor Levinson informed me, and my words to her, and she doesn't need to be told. She's a professor of ethical advocacy at Loyola, so certainly if anyone knows that field of law, it's her. Is we don't want to know. Don't tell us. We don't even want to be able, we don't have to worry about evaluating. You don't go into privilege. But in doing so, Mr. Diamond indicated there might be something that was not privileged, which is the alteration of evidence, which is not covered by the privilege. As the cases that I've cited, the cases, Meredith, Fairbanks, and other cases, and the state bar opinions, and ABA opinions have all indicated that once, as the Fairbanks case citing Meredith said, once a defense attorney chooses to alter, manipulate, fabricate, do anything with a piece of evidence, that's a tactical decision and the privilege is waived. So Professor Levinson's inquiry went further. Mr. Diamond was called to the stand. Now, in judging his credibility, I've got to look at the overall picture, and I think I've stated from what it appears.
Live shot of Phil Spector at all times.
I have to weigh that in his credibility and evaluating his credibility, because and plus I can evaluate and judge his credibility based on his appearance on the stand. There are lots of things about Mr. Diamond, whatever he saw, may have seen, thinks he saw, that certainly his credibility does not go unquestioned. His testimony, the manner in which he testified, the manner in which he attempted not to testify as well. Certainly I will judge his credibility. He is the only person that placed any object in Dr. Bodden's hand, so I can't find that to be credible. No one else has stated that Dr. Bodden had anything to do with this, and I'm not going to make any findings against Dr. Bodden. And that has nothing to do, we're in an awkward position, this is very rare, where the wife of the witness I'm talking about is sitting right in front of me. And I'll be real candid, if I thought Dr. Bodden was being untruthful, I'd be the first to say it. So be it, that's the way it goes. But I can't find that, and I'm not finding that. Then we have the testimony of Mr. White. Now, again, in judging credibility, let's say that Mr. White has a large personality. I don't think I know Mr. White from before. I just have to watch how he testifies and how he carries himself. I also look at the fact that certainly to a degree, not in his testimony here, but he certainly interjected himself into the case because he wasn't contacted by anyone to do with the case originally. He called by his testimony Mr. Shapiro and basically offered his services. It doesn't mean he's credible or not credible. Some of what he says is consistent with Ms. Kaplan's testimony, some is not. So he's just a piece. If all I had was Mr. White, I'm not sure where I'd go with this case. Then we have Ms. Kaplan. I don't think anybody was expecting the testimony she gave the first time she testified, because it was sort of going by rote. Did you see anything? Did you see anybody take anything?
We'll
And
spin
it was sort of,
after
no, and all of a sudden,
this
just
video.
before lunch, Ms. Kaplan, yes, I did. And you could get whiplash from watching next spin around on that one, because clearly I don't think that was going to be what anyone expected the testimony to be. And to some degree, Ms. Kaplan, and I'm sure she has indicated that she understands her ethical obligations. And if you heard what I said from citing from Meredith and Fairbanks, she put herself at risk by testifying to what she did, because she became aware that an agent of the defense, based upon her testimony, had, if not clearly, at least, or explicitly, had at least implicitly violated that responsibility. And she testified to that. And she did so, and I find her to be very credible. She's the most credible witness of all. And what she has is this object which she cannot identify, which she, clearly Mr. White makes it a fingernail. He says, I recognize it, it's a fingernail, and I'm experienced, it has what he testifies is bullet white. I believe Dr. Harold said that's a bad terminology, but we know what he's talking about, that basically a bullet passed over this object, which he calls a fingernail, and left evidentiary traces. He says he's experienced, he recognizes, he sees it. He told Dr. Lee that by his own testimony. Dr. Lee says, no, that's not what it is. He makes an instant determination. And then you have Dr. Lee's testimony. The court certainly recognizes that Dr. Lee has a very large reputation. He's a world-renowned expert. And he testifies that he never put anything in a vial, and that is inconsistent with Ms. Kaplan's testimony, and if I have to choose between the two, I'm going to find that Ms. Kaplan is more credible than Dr. Lee. Dr. Lee has a lot to lose if this turns out to be true. His explanation for Ms. Kaplan's testimony is, I believe she's mistaken. It's an honest mistake. Well, if you listen to her testimony originally and again today, it's not just a mistake. An object was taken, put into a vial by Dr. Lee, and no one has that object at this point.
Where is it?
So in making findings of fact, I find the following: that Dr. Lee did recover an item. It is flat, it is white, it has irregular edges. I am unable to say that it is a fingernail. It is the size of a fingernail. That's all I can say. And that item has never been presented to the prosecution. And those are my factual findings. Now, we talk about remedies. Normally, the remedy, and that's when I say normally, there haven't been that many cases. There are certainly recorded cases and reported cases, and we've talked about those, is for the court, when it finds that an object has been secreted or kept from the prosecution, is to order the party who has it to produce it.
Wow.
And that's what you do. That's the first remedy. You say,
Kelly's been hanging and banging with us for 4 months.
In essence, concedes
Let's
that
go.
object is no longer with us. That if it ever, and clearly the court has found some object existed, that there is no object to order Dr. Lee to produce. It would be.
Hey, Joe, and we'll let you know for sure. Thank you for hanging out tonight.
We're
getting close, though.
This object, he is
This ends in about 5-6 minutes, and we're going to go Will Spin. The show's almost done.
forthwith. Now, if I knew he had it,
Welcome in, new
and he didn't
folks.
produce it, the remedy is contempt
Damn,
of
6
court.
months on Carly. Let's
I don't see
go.
going there because I don't think he is now. I mean, if he has it,
Kaylin, what's
suddenly
up?
appears, I order it be
Thanks for
produced.
coming in here.
I don't see going to the contempt sanction.
Kinda
because
crazy
I think
night,
it would be
Kaylin.
useless, and you don't impose contempt when it is useless and does not have the coercive effect that it is meant to have. I am
Wild
not going
night.
to hold Dr. Lee in contempt. So now we come to the position of what do I do? What is the remedy, if any? The remedy is, and I agree with something Mr. Plord said, the people have presented a prospective jury instruction, which basically has me tell the jury that I've made findings that Dr. Lee is not credible, I'll paraphrase, and to use it as they have set forth. That interjects me into the case to a degree that is inappropriate. Judges should not be a part of the case, and it substitutes my findings of fact for theirs. The jury is the fact finder in this case. I make preliminary findings of fact as to what evidence may go before them, but I don't make ultimate conclusions of that nature. It's inappropriate, it carries way too much weight, and also it can't be cross-examined, it can't be really argued, and that's inappropriate. So I'm not going to tell the jury that I find Dr. Lee has withheld a piece of evidence, but the people, when he testifies, if he testifies, may present all this evidence to question his credibility. He may be cross-examined on it, and you may present witnesses. The witnesses that have testified in front of me and any other witnesses that you choose, and the defense may present any witnesses that they choose on this subject, and the jury will be told, and it must be limited under California law. The existing law, and it's very clear when you talk about either untimely disclosure of evidence or evidence tampering, that if the jury cannot trace this to Mr. Spector, and there is no evidence to support that whatsoever, then you cannot allow them to speculate or use it against him on a consciousness of guilt. And they have to be instructed and will be told that the sole purpose that this can be used for is the impeachment of Dr. Lee. And to the extent that it does or does not
Shady
impeach
Dr.
him,
Lee.
if people choose to go there,
That was an interesting
and
episode.
the jury may consider that. They will be told, and I haven't, of course, I can't finalize any words at this time or any appropriate instruction. The sole purpose for considering that is in considering his credibility.
Best judge in the land.
And if
Stand by
they
that.
they'll find what they find. That's basically it. But it won't be used against Mr. Spector on the issue of guilt or innocence. It cannot be. The law is very prescribed on that. But clearly the people may go forward, and we will worry about the language of any instruction to make appropriate, to have the jury make appropriate credibility
Testapony.
findings.
Is that how you
as to
say it?
Dr. Lee,
Testapony?
if he takes the stand. Anything further?
I understand the court's ruling.
Okay. Anything further from the people?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
As I understand the court's decision, there would be no jury instruction?
Oh, there will be a jury instruction as to how to consider it against Dr. Lee's credibility, but I am not going to inform them that I find him not to be credible or I find him to personally have secreted a piece of evidence. You may put forth the facts. There is certainly a preliminary finding, which is what I'm doing, to allow you to go forward with that evidence.
Well, we have submitted a jury instruction to you as 306 Calcrim modified. Clearly from the court's ruling, the court has some problems and issues with that. May we at least leave the door open so that we could redraft something?
Oh, absolutely.
Come back to you, because it seems to me that some version, some modification of 306 would be appropriate. Under 306, which is basically drafted for the purpose of
We're about to do a
commenting on
wheel
one
spin
part, one
right
side or the
now.
other,
It's
not
coming.
discovering in
Testaphony.
a timely manner.
Gotcha.
The jury's told
Testaphony.
that. And we think that some version of that pinpointed to this
I like
situation
testaphony.
without the court being injected is
I'm not in disagreement. I think what the jury will be told, and again, I'm not finalizing any language, and I'm open to
riding a
proposals
pony.
from any side, is that the jury may consider not only as to credibility as to Dr. Lee, but how this has impacted the prosecution's ability to present its best case.
Well, we will, soon, redraft another jury instruction and present it to you, because I'll be candid with you, we would like to see this jury instruction given to the jury at or near the time that Dr. Harold testifies.
No, I think that would be inappropriate. I think that's unduly highlighting an area. I think when Dr. Lee testifies, that's the appropriate time. I understand you're concerned about, and certainly there are questions the prosecution asked, and Dr. Harold's frankly already testified under oath as to, depending on what it is, as to it might have great significance, it may have no significance, and you can certainly set the stage for what will come later.
And that's why my request for the jury instruction at that time, because this is our case in chief. If we were given this item, this is when she would testify to it.
I think it is an inappropriate time to present that. I think, one, it puts me, again, into making certain findings of fact, if not explicitly, certainly implicitly. I think that is the best way to handle it.
All right, we'll redraft that instruction for you.
All right?
Thank you.
Anything further? Is there anything else we can take up this morning?
I don't know. I take it, and maybe I want to make sure the record is clear as far as the people's position. All these witnesses, for example, Stan White, his name came about years ago. They've known about this fingernail issue. Factually, we're prepared to contest that if they choose to do it in front of the jury. We need to know if those people are going to be put on the witness list. If they are, that's fine.
There's it.
You can count on in rebuttal, Stan White, Sarah Kaplan, Robert Shapiro.
Very good, no problem. We now know that, and we're prepared to contest this issue before the jury on a factual basis. I think that's it.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, I have an announcement.
Yes.
Just from yesterday, I neglected to have marked, which would be the EMT report that we spoke about with Mr. Brown. And it probably
We should probably mark it in front of the jury.
in front of the jury, yeah.
Right.
I just want to notify you that I'm going to be doing that.
That's
Thank you.
fine. Thank you. Well, enjoy your 90 minutes of unfettered enjoyment. Yes, whatever. 1:30.
Get out of here, you knuckleheads.
Right.
Except for you, Rosin.
Because they won't
Son of a bitch. I just want to see what next. What are we starting Sunday with? An hour. Alhambra paramedic firefighter David Riggs takes the stand. Okay. That is where we're starting at on Sunday morning. The next time you will see us live will be Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Should have Dan, but Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We're having a movie marathon, guys. We're going all night long. The very first movie we're watching is Goodfellas. Special guest Chris Dewitt. We're going to be hanging and banging all night long, literally. We'll see how long Dan can last. I don't think he's going to make it as long as I do. And we're about to have a wheel spin right freaking now. I appreciate everybody that came through here tonight. The donations, the new members. If you are a new member, go over right now to the video section. Check this out. You have this.
Amazing handwriting.
Oh.
I've never seen anything like this.
No, you haven't. I've never heard
Me opening a package sent to us, a care package specifically from Charlotte, straight from the UK with UK exclusive snacks. West Virginia boys eating snacks, making proper tea. It's a good time. If you're not a member, you're going to want to become a member. You can do it up in the pinned message. You're going to be portaled straight out of this, straight into Bob Mata's live stream right now. But first, let me spin this wheel. Who's going to win a shirt? Let's go. Carly Rooks, longtime member here at Publicly Buzzed and supporter. Thank you so much. You won yourself a shirt. Go to publiclybuzzed.com right now. Pick out any shirt except for the Cult shirt. That shirt's a little bit crazy. I keep saying that every time you want a shirt. Let me know on Twitter or let me know at publiclybuzzed@gmail.com what you want. Gail, gifting out another membership here. She's going to be on the new wheel that is going to be spinning, I would say, probably Thursday night. Let me get you on here real quick, Gail. Holy shit. Wow. What a night. Tonight was crazy. Maybe the most spins we've ever had in one night. And we're almost halfway to another one right now. Oh my God. Whew, yeah, Carly Rooks, get at me. Let me know what you want in the merch store. I will make that happen. We'll get that on the way. A bunch of new shirts were bought today. We'll be shipping out soon, and that will keep on happening here at Publicly Buzzed. And yeah, right now you're going to be leaving this and being portaled directly in to Defense Diaries. Bob Mata's John Wayne Gacy stream. Let's fucking go. Love you guys. See you Thursday night. I'm going to keep vacationing, baby.